I'm aiming a rifle. I also like the.
Okay, so where are we? Call of Cthulhu, October 13th, 2016. The scenario is called Nightmare. Oh god, Nightmare in Moonlight. Okay. Alright, now I gotta figure out who's gonna be the hook. We have a Fed, we have the reporter, we have the mechanic, we have... okay, we're going to do a little background stuff first with the players who are bringing in characters. Cool. So, Katelyn, starting with you.
Okay.
You're in Providence. Are you what? Are you fixed?
No.
What did you say?
They said something about describing characters. I'm like, I'm already there.
No. We'll have you guys describe the characters as you people, as everybody meets up. So, if you don't know what your character... what other characters look like yet, make sure that you speak up, okay, guys? Katelyn, your father, as we discussed at one point.
Yeah, weird shit.
There's a lot, they keep seeing more strangers, your father's starting to get a little nervous about possible danger to you, and so he wants to send you away for a few months or maybe a year or two. To where do you want to go, and that kind of thing.
I want to go to Providence.
Okay, so he's paying for you to go to Providence. Okay, yes, find you a husband, like all your brothers. So,
wherever I can find you.
well, that sounds, Providence, that's very far away, yeah. And, so you are, yes, and you know people there, yeah, that makes sense. So you are sent off to Providence. What kind of dwelling do you want? Would you want an apartment? Would you want to be in a boarding house? Would you want a little house that your father's renting for you? Okay, so a nice house. You could easily find out Rockefeller's address if you want to try to live near him. Across the street, maybe.
Next, right there.
You have to make me a luck check if you want to be super close.
Nah.
Otherwise, it could still be in that neighborhood because that's the nicest part of town.
Yeah, I'll just go to the neighborhood.
Okay, so you've got a nice house there.
Damn it.
Are you going to want any other servants besides Virgil? He can handle you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he can handle all the chores and stuff.
I'll probably hire a lady to clean the house.
Okay, so a maid. You hire a maid. Yeah, that works. So you're living in Providence for the last. It was probably not long after you returned from Florida that he decided for some reason things are weird, and he's just going to send you away for now for your own protection. And he's sending Virgil to watch after you. So, away you go to Providence. So you're probably going to live in Providence for nearly a month, because it's going to be late November by the time when this scenario starts. You've been reading your books for a month. You were reading the first book, weren't you?
Yep. Okay,
so you've pretty much gotten all the way through that. You're not going to get points till you read the whole things, the entire set.
I'm like, what do I have again?
So you have 1, 2, and 3, I think, didn't you?
No, I have she has 1, 4, and 7.
Like so, you guys are so dumb. Let's divide it up the most complicated way possible.
Hey, every third one. Yeah, it wasn't that complicated. There was none of that.
I'm 3, 6, and 9.
Sorry.
4, 12, 13, 18. That's Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Okay. Number one is Glacky and his associated witch cult called Call Glacky.
Call Glacky?
Yeah.
That shit. I will not learn that.
Okay.
You do see that it's in the book if you want to try to learn something.
I feel like, fuck that shit.
You have 1, 4, and...
Wow.
1, 4, and 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I read through 1.
You've read through 1.
Okay.
It basically is going to take 8 months to read the entire thing. It's roughly one a month. Oh, yeah, you can do that. You read it.
Yeah, that way when I give it to them, they don't have to look too hard.
Ashton, you had 2?
I have 2.
2, okay. So you Colin first. Collin, you have 2. Servants of Glacky and the Curse of the Green Decay. There are 2 spells in this book. One is called Green Decay, which apparently allows you to actually cause the Green Decay to take effect immediately on on these Servants of Glacky. And the other is called the Hargo Dirge. And it appears to be a way to destroy corporeal undead, should they actually exist. Skeletons, zombies, vampires, Servants of Glacky. So it looks like somebody has set up a recipe book for destroying awful, evil, undead things. So, at the end of that month, once you've read that first book, if you want to start studying one of the spells, you can. Just make a note of it when you started studying it. It's going to be several weeks before you make checks to see if you can learn them. But just make a note, and we'll say that the date is when you guys got back on October... Ben's like, this is so boring. You guys got back on the 18th, so it would be November 18th when you finished reading enough that you could start studying a spell, okay?
What are those called again?
Green Decay and Hargo Dirge. Nyhargo Dirge.
I hope we run into the fungus people again.
The fungus people? The Migo?
Oh.
Maybe
Okay. Number 6, 3. Wait. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Imprisonment of Beatus. There's another contact spell. Contact Beatus. Beatus seems to be some kind of god that is imprisoned somewhere in England. There's a little bit more details than that, but that's the basics.
Can I also read Papa Job's journal?
No, you have to read that one separately.
Okay.
And it's so poorly written and hard to follow. I mean, he jumps ideas from page to page. You expect it's going to take several weeks to read that as well. So it's going to be an either or kind of thing. Because you really have to, every night you have to sit down and try to deal with this. So, what do you guys want to start to read next? I mean, you're just heading down to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So note that you started reading that on November 18th. Put a note of that as well. What about you, Ashton? Do you want to continue on with these or work on Papa Joe's?
Yeah, I'll read Papa Joe's.
Alright, so note the date that you started reading it, and then I'll let you know once you... November 18th is about a month after you guys got back.
Okay.
So we're going to go by that date.
November
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
reading.
Person to be a hook. Who shall I make the hook? Trying to decide if I'm going to make it random. You guys already know each other, that would help. You're not from Providence, it can't be you.
Did federal agent stuff that they made?
No, it's like a personal kind of hook. I'm gonna make it random. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You guys are all from Providence, right? She's not, so there's very little chance it would be her. Yeah. Boom. Collin again.
Does my family have a house in Providence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're from a rich family, just...
Because I have to have a taxidermy room.
You're not getting any money from them, right? Wait, how much do you make a year?
3,500.
You could have a nice house, and one of the rooms could be pretty fit to that.
With just a bunch of heads and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Collin, I'm going to allow you, since you were the hook last time, allow the option of saying no. Straight up.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
So just so somebody else can have a chance.
Okay. So we'll roll random. 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. And it is 4. Oh, this will be complicated. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
First off, Joel. I'm going to try to call people by their character names, just trying to help the motion.
Yeah.
Describe your character. How old is he? We'll start with his age.
I'm 26.
26. Physically, what does he look like?
I'm a strong man. I'm not strong, but I'm large. Strong.
Okay, you're large.
I'm very attractive.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
right.
in the prime of my youth.
He has the same strength as you.
Good looking.
He's not strong.
Hold on.
But I'm very hardy.
What is your
Hard to
size?
take down. 11.
11. You are 66 to 68 inches tall. 5'6" to 5'8". Right. So whichever of those two, anywhere in there you want to be.
5'6".
Yeah. 5'8" is me. Are you super tall too?
No, I'm 5'4".
Okay.
I'm
This is how you look Southern woman.
Okay.
I
So.
think I'm going to take the whole 6, as I am an attractive young man.
Okay. So 5'6" or 5'8"?
I like that friend of yours.
5'6" to 5'8", I'm going to do 5'8".
You're 5'8". Okay. So around 5'8". Color hair.
Black hair.
Black hair. Does he have a beard or mustache?
No beard, he's clean shaven.
Okay. Does he wear glasses or anything?
No.
Okay.
I wear a hat.
Well, everybody does. It's 20s. Everybody wears a hat. So, what kind of hat? Is it a fedora or is it like a workman's cap?
It's like one of those caps that's like square on the top and has a little visor coming down from it.
Like a messenger hat?
I don't know.
Thing with
Like
the strap around it.
I was looking at one in the book.
Okay.
You want me
I
to
think
pick it
I
out?
know. Is that a picture?
I want to see it, yeah.
It makes me think of like
I have a little
the
picture.
old soldier's hat.
Little
Well, let me see a
picture
picture.
for a big man.
It's like a messenger hat.
It almost does. Here, find it there. I want to see it. And he wears that cap and what kind of clothing? Is he in like a suit? Does he wear like workman's clothes?
He's wearing workman's clothes.
Okay.
He has one nice jacket that he tends to wear. It's leather
Okay.
because it's the only good clothes he has.
Yeah, you guys really poor. he probably bounces from job to job as he's trying to, like, he stirs up people, and the employers find out, and then he gets fired, and he has to switch to another job, and that kind of thing. So, are you between jobs right now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Despite your joblessness, communistic tendencies, socialism, whatever, you do know have you lived in Providence all your life or most of your life?
I think most of my life.
Okay.
I eventually, when I dropped out of high school, I moved away to New York and saw how bad things were. And now I'm bouncing around trying to spread the word of how everybody needs to be treated, not as...
Were you from Providence as a kid
Yes.
and moved to New York, and now you're back?
And now I'm traveling around.
Okay. All right. Is your family just average middle class?
Like something like this. Like one of these two.
Yeah. Men's quality. So it's actually a hat, not a hat.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Havelock style. Men's judge cap style cap. Oh yeah, these are like winter caps. Yeah, they have flaps on them and everything. That's cool.
Wow,
No,
the flaps.
I didn't notice the flaps, but I see the tie in the front. See, look. Isn't that cool? I don't know what happened.
That's really cool.
Okay.
Nice.
So the flaps probably down because it's November, so it's probably as cold as it is out here in Providence. Anyway, I got totally distracted by caps. Surprisingly, you have actually made the friendship of one of the psychiatrists at Dexter Asylum out on towards the center of town, actually. This is a really low. It's not a very nice establishment. It's more for holding crazy people than curing them, but there are a couple psychologists who actually work there and try to help. You know, you're in the state mental institution. So, you know Dr.
Just
Reuben
like the upper
Connor?
class.
You know Dr. Reuben Connor.
Good friend of mine.
You know him, and he knows what you are, that you're a communist. Are you a communist? Or do you spout communist? Do you do communist stuff? Or?
I agree with some socialist ideas,
Okay.
but I'm not fully in the,
Okay.
like...
What do you think about this new
ideology.
socialist party that's coming up in Germany? They call themselves the Nazis. They seem to know what they're doing or not?
Oh god. Oh god, here we go.
No. Your character can admire what they're trying to do.
I
in
like their
Germany.
economic ideas,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure they're all in it.
Because right now,
They don't
Mr.
think
Hitler
about
is just starting to come to
everybody like we
power.
try to.
And this is way before the Holocaust. All that shit came down before it all went Anyway, yeah. So you know Dr. Connor because he it was well, he's a psychologist. You might have actually consulted him a couple times on psychology, that kind of thing, on dealing with what people think or that kind of thing. And you guys aren't like friends, you're not buddies, but you're acquaintances. So you're kind of surprised one day when it's actually November 26th, Saturday. It is 2 days after Thanksgiving. When there is a knock at your flop house door. And Dr. Connor is there. And he says he has a problem and he needs some help.
What kind of problem?
Well, can I come in?
He's scared.
I'll give him a look over and then I'll...
Yeah, he's wearing his, here, I actually have a written description of it as well.
He sounds a little bit on edge.
Yes, he does.
Flustered?
Yes, he does. He stands about 5.5 feet tall, a little shorter than you, very slim. You know he's only 45 years old, but he looks older than that. His hair is gray, his mustache is black, he wears glasses. Yeah, kind of an average guy. You know that he's a psychologist, one of the few at Dexter Asylum who's actually trying to help the inmates, or at least make them comfortable as opposed to. And that might have been one of the reasons that he knows you. Maybe you're like, you at one point pushed for better treatment of the inmates at this asylum, or something to that effect, or who knows, something in the past. You can figure that out. You two know each other.
I'll let him in.
Okay. He sits down. He sits just on the bed. You don't have any real furniture in this room.
Mm-hmm.
He says, one of my patients, Morgan is not a literary man. In fact, he cannot speak English with any degree of coherency, and that is what makes me wonder about the words he wrote. He was alone on the evening it happened last night. Suddenly an unconquerable urge to write came over him, and taking pen in hand, he wrote this.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to read that out loud, you can. That'll mean that everybody else won't have to actually read it.
My name is Howard Phillips. I live at 66 College Street in Providence, Rhode Island, on November 24th, 1927. For I know not even what the year may be now. I fell asleep and dreamed, since when I have been unable to awaken. My dream began in a dank, reed-choked marsh that lay under a gray autumn sky, with a rugged cliff, a lichen-crusted stone rising to the north, impelled by some obscure quest. I ascended a rift of cleft in this beating... Excuse me, I can't say it.
You find that's a rough font, too.
I ascended a rift or cleft in this beetling precipice, nothing as I did so the black mouths of many fearsome burrows extending from both walls into the depths of the stony plateau. At several points the passage was roofed over by the choking of the upper parts of the narrow fissure, these places being exceedingly dark and forbidding. The perception of such burrows as may have existed there. In one such dark space I felt conscious of a singular ascension of fright, as if some subtle and bodiless emanation from the abyss was engulfing my spirit, but the blackness was too great for me to perceive the source of my alarm. At length I emerged upon a tableland of moss-grown rock and scanty soil, lit by a faint moonlight which had replaced the expiring orb of the day. Casting my eyes about, I beheld no living object, but was sensible of a very peculiar stirring far below me, amongst the whispering rushes of the pestilential swamp I had lately quitted. After walking for some distance, I encountered the rusty tracks of a street railway, and the worm-eaten poles which still held the limp and sagging trolley wire. Following this line, I soon came upon a yellow, vested car numbered 1852 of a plain, double-trucked type common from 1900 to 1910. It was untenanted, but evidently ready to start. The trolley being on the wire, the air brake now and then throbbing beneath the floor. I boarded it and looked vainly about from the light switch. Nothing, as I did so, the absence of the controller handle, which thus implied the brief absence of the motorman. Then I sat down in one of the cross seats of the vehicle. Presently, I heard a swishing in the sparse grass towards the left, and saw the dark forms of two men looming up in the moonlight. They had the regulation caps of a railway company, and I could not doubt that they were conductor and motorman. Then one of them sniffed with singular sharpness, and raised his face to howl at the moon. The other dropped on all fours to run towards the car.
Oh, fuck.
I leaped up at once and raced madly out of that car and across endless leagues of plateau till exhaustion forced me to stop. Doing this not because the conductor had dropped on all fours, but because the face of the motorman was a mere white cone tapering to one blood-red tentacle.
What the fuck?
I was aware that I only dreamed, but the very awareness was not pleasant. Since that fearful night, I have prayed only for awakening. It has not come. Instead, I have found myself an inhabitant of this terrible dream world. That first night gave way to dawn, and I wandered aimlessly over the lonely swamplands. When night came, I still wandered, hoping for awakening, but suddenly I parted the weeds and saw before me the ancient railway car, and to one side a cone-faced thing lifted its head, and in the streaming moonlight howled strangely. It has been the same each day. Night takes me always to the place of horror. I have tried not moving with the coming of nightfall, but I must walk in my slumber, for always I awaken with the thing of dread howling before me in the pale moonlight, and I turn and flee madly. God, when will I awaken?
That's what Morgan wrote. I would go to 66 College Street in Providence, but I fear what I might find there. Could you go? A man's life might be at stake.
This is a strange request.
I know, Joe, but Morgan can barely even speak, let alone write something like this. That is why I'm concerned. I don't believe in the supernatural, but this is beyond me. It strikes me as strange, as odd, as unnatural. Could you go?
I live the life I do because I care about my fellow man. I'll go.
Thank you. You can keep that. I have a photostatic copy. You know where I live. There's no dials on telephones in this age, so usually you will get somebody's address or abbreviation of their address in order to get them. And you know how to contact him. And so he's going to leave it up to you. And please contact him when you know anything. He's very curious. Maybe it's nothing. It's probably nothing, right? It's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. But if you could look, I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
He seems like really, really freaked out by this, like scared white by that idea of going to that house. So he takes his leave of you. Are you wanting to go alone to a place like this?
Not really.
Good. So you don't know many people. You know a few people in Providence. One person that you actually know quite well is a reporter. No, she's a secretary for the Providence Journal. But for some reason, sometimes she's taking photographs. You've seen her taking photographs at things, and then they end up in the paper. It looks like they end up in the Providence Journal. So you wonder if she might either know the photographer or takes photos that they use themselves. So that's a possible link that you could do. Collin, do you want to know this guy? Do you want to know Collin too?
I don't know what Collin is.
I know. That's why mainly we're going to give Collin the choice here.
Yeah.
He's a union activist. He's a guy stirring up trouble, at least according to people in charge.
I've probably heard of him at one point or another.
Oh yeah, you probably have. Your name is probably you've probably been jailed several times, and your name's probably been in the paper. The cops are probably beating you up too, dude. It's not a good time to be.
She needs the gun paper.
She needs the what? Oh, that's okay.
You need a paper gun.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You probably know him too. You also know Sanderson. He's a Fed. You're a Fed. There's been some times when the Feds have come out to investigate some of these union problems.
These union orgies.
No, union problems.
That's what the Feds. That's what the Feds
that's
call
not what you call it. Some of these problems that you have had with instigators is basically what it is. Not very often because you guys are more into bigger things like smuggling and the whole no drinking thing that's going on. The whole
She hates him.
yeah. So you could know him as well. Although you guys are probably kind of on the opposite sides of the fence. But you do know that he's like a cop. And he does seem, and we're going to say this about Sanderson, at least as far as he knows, you seem like a good cop. Like you're not out there just like pulling out a billy club and beating down protesters and that kind of crap.
Do what I gotta do.
Right. So you know him too. We're going to call you a him as long as we're at the table. So,
yeah, that's my gender.
Well, that's what screws me up about people playing the other opposite gender, the other, since there's 40 or 50 now. Is not knowing what pronouns to use for you while you're sitting at the table. What kind of gun you want? You want that 45?
I just, whatever standard for a handgun.
You would probably have the 45 automatic. Here you go. It's on that list under handguns towards the bottom of the handgun section. Okay. So what do you want to do about this, Joel? Or Johnson?
So who do I know about Collin's character, or does he just know about me?
He knows about you. He's read about you in the newspaper. He's probably read about you in the
Probably
newspaper.
heard people talking about him in the shop at one point.
Probably. You're too small to even bother with the union, and your employer is actually pretty fair. Although you've been having problems. There's been a lot of problems lately at the shop.
People stealing my tools.
Just your tools, though, too, yeah.
I don't think I'd go straight for Sanderson.
Okay.
I don't like cops, but if I had to go to a cop, he might be the first one I go to. But I'm still not thinking about it.
Okay.
I think I'll ask my friend with the paper to see if she knows anything.
It is Saturday. She's probably at the paper, so you go downtown to Providence Journal. You need to figure out where the hell that is, because we end up with people going there all the time. You ask for it at the front desk. Fairfield.
What?
Somebody's here. There's somebody up front who wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Some radical. I don't know.
Alright.
You see Joel Johnson, who you know through, you know him, you know who he is. He's an instigator. He stirs up the unions. He's trying to get, there you go.
Probably have pictures of him.
Probably. He's just standing there by the reception desk. The secretary is, you guys really lit. The secretary's flirting with him. Her appearance is 8, so she's not great looking, but she's 27 years old. She's about your age too, so she's flirting with you, like all that kind of stuff. And that's what happens when you show up, Fairfield. Oh, and you guys do know that. One quick question for the three of you: have you contacted them since you got to Providence, Katelyn?
What?
Have you contacted them?
I would have called.
Okay, so you know that she's in Providence now. She's been in Providence for nearly a month now.
No.
Nope, this is Griffin.
Oh yeah, I probably would have called.
So go ahead, sorry.
Like, hey, we've come for a couple of years, you know.
What? Gotta go. Click.
Nah, I just feel like, weird shit's happening. Dad sent me away. Dad sent me away. Yeah.
And she's probably actually been in the paper as part of the social. There's a new eligible abstract.
Why the newspaper?
on the society pages.
Oh, okay.
Because you're probably going to parties and stuff, aren't you?
Probably.
I'm mixing amongst your own.
I don't drink the devil's water, but I do like a party.
There you go. Hey, sometimes in smaller towns they have bridge clubs and they put the winners' names in the paper. I mean, this is small town. This is 1920s America. Sorry, go. You two should have the center spotlight.
Yeah, go.
I got an interesting connection.
His last
today.
name.
Johnson.
Hey Johnson, what's going on?
I got an interesting connection today. You know Dr. Reuben Connor?
Make me a note roll. Your character is pretty well connected and, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you know who he is.
Yeah, I know.
He comes to me today, looking like he's single, looking like he's been out of a war. I need to know everything you know about 66 Collin Street.
Okay, I mean, I can go look in the archives.
It'll take 4 hours to do a library search. You could more quickly just look it up like on a map of the city. You guys would have some of those, just for some quick information on location, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's free. It won't cost you any rolls.
Okay.
It's located over by Brown University. Actually, you get this. That's it right there, right next to this library, right next to the John Hay Memorial Library.
Mm-hmm.
To get anything more,
would there be more information in the library about it?
Probably not. It's just a residence, you think. You could go down to City Hall and you could see who owns it. You could find out if it's a rental or if it's owned by somebody if you want. Again, that'll take some time.
Yeah.
Right now it's probably, we're going to say he showed up a little after lunchtime, so it's probably like 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon. So you could check the newspaper archive if you want, but like I said, that'll potentially take hours. I mean, you're just looking for an address in back issues of the newspaper. It doesn't ring any bells as far as you've worked for the paper for years, right? How old's your character?
26.
Yeah, you've probably worked for the paper for years. It doesn't ring any bells, just like
Yeah, that house.
right.
Okay. So what is it about this house?
Well, Doc's got a patient, right? Says he can't speak a word of English, can't write any, never been to school, or at least never picked anything up from it. Writes this note talking about how he's some guy named Howard Phillips at 66 College Street. The real question I'm asking that got me interested in this is, how does a well-off man like Dr. Connor go to me instead of dead?
This is so serious and so good.
I agree.
Yeah, that is a little strange. Well, now we have a name and an address, so I can go figure